Alrighty. Hey guys. Second episode of here, of course, of the Bougie Bookcase with the one, the only Jill Tew. Hi, how are
Hi.
you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So, of course, like I've been hearing nothing, like literally all I've been hearing about is an ocean apart. Like I literally all down my timeline has
Amazing.
literally been talking about this book. So, first of all,
hmm
congratulations on the
Thank
book.
you. Thank you.
Big deal, big deal. So for readers who actually haven't like dived in yet, no,
Yeah.
pun intended.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
What's the heart of this story?
Yeah, so An Ocean Apart is a standalone dystopian romance, and I like to say that it's The Bachelor meets the Hunger Games on a cruise ship, except that
Ooh.
Eden, the main character, she's not looking for love. She actually wants to steal all the Bachelor's money and break his heart on national TV,
I'm
right?
just
Period.
like her.
Right?
Yes, I'm just like her. Yes.
Absolutely. It takes place in like a future Miami where like the wealthy corporations have really destroyed the environment on land. And so they have taken these like massive cruise ships and they kind of sail the world like away from all the consequences. And Eden's on land where it's, hard to live. There's no food, there's no water. It's really hard to survive. So she's struggling and she finds out about this dating competition that this water corporation CEO is having for her son on her ship. And so Eden's like, bet, I'm going to sneak on board. I'm going to put on the ball gown and be undercover. And I'm going to break his heart and literally make him pay. And that's the plan.
You know what? I need to be just like her. Like I got the same idea. Ain't
Uh-huh,
mad.
uh-huh.
I'm not mad at her at all. So, what would you say like inspired the ocean apart? Like, was this like a personal experience? A what if
It
moment?
was a personal experience. Yeah, no. I think a few things. I feel like but story-wise, I was just thinking about like another story that I wanted to do for my publisher, Joy Evolution. And I wanted to do another dystopian, and I was thinking about the kind of dystopian heyday of the 2010s. And there was a series back then called The Selection, which was kind of like The Bachelor meets the Hunger. Like it was kind of dystopian Bachelor, where this girl enters this competition, and she's like one of dozens of girls to like marry this prince, and it kind of goes on for many many books. It was really popular, but the cover itself is kind of like iconic. I'm trying to see if I have it anywhere. I don't know. It's somewhere in my office, but basically the cover is this girl in this like ball gown with like all these like mirrors kind of like around her, and it's kind of became like this like kicked off this trend of like covers of like girls in dresses. But I had this image of like a girl on a cover like with a dress like that, except that in the mirror you can see she has a knife behind her back. And I was like, what's that story? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I wanted to tell a story that was like very similar to the selection, but like Eden has like an axe to grind against the bachelor that she's competing for.
Okay, okay. Listen, I'm all for it. Take the money. I'm all for taking the money.
Yep.
The title alone feels like emotional and powerful. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
title is
Yeah.
really like gripping. So how did you land on the ocean apart as the name?
Yeah. So we knew it was going to be in some ways connected to my debut, The Dividing Sky. So we had like sky, ocean, dividing apart. Eden spends most of the book like away from her like homeland of the marshes, which is like the former Miami. And so she's an ocean apart from like her community. Um, and then there's also a little bit of a love triangle in there because she has this friend back home, Henry, who doesn't love this plan, right? He's like, "You're gonna go seduce this guy? Like what?"
Right, right, right.
Yeah, so they're also an ocean apart for like a good chunk of the book. So it just kind of felt like, a good metaphor. I think also, the cruisers, these like wealthy elites, and everyone who lives in the marshes are also an ocean apart in terms of how they see the world and their kind of just their viewpoint on life. So felt like a lot of distance and a lot of like emotional space to kind of try to bridge.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, like that definitely makes sense for sure. And without giving away too much, of course, what's one scene in the book that like you're most proud of writing?
Ooh, my husband just finished reading and I asked him what his favorite scene was. And I have to agree, this is a really good one. There's a very good scene, kind of the first scene where Eden and Theo, this bachelor, um, begin to kind of have feelings for each other, where he's giving her swimming lessons in the pool. at
Ooh.
like at night. Like they're it's very
Oh
that's a
yeah, oh
good scene.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Set the scene,
Yeah.
set the scene. Okay,
Yep.
yep, yep. That's when that money. That's when you
Mhm.
gotta get it. When you start when they start calling like that, yeah, that's when you gotta get it.
Uh,
Which character do you think readers would connect to the most and why?
yeah, I mean Eden's great. She's angry.
Yeah,
She's very loyal and
I
like she's
agree.
fighting for
Yeah,
her family and her community.
yeah.
So like Eden I think is really relatable. Um I think Henry too. I mean, I think especially these days, it's something about writing a dystopian story in the times we're living in, right? Like,
For sure.
Henry wants a revolution, and he wants to make the cruisers pay, and he's, got ideas about like what a government like run like by the people for the people would look like, and so I feel like that's very, very easy to relate to these days.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely in the times that we are
Yeah,
unfortunately in.
yeah.
How was writing An Ocean Apart like different from your past projects? Like, how did that make it different?
Yeah, I think just tonally, I think this book is a little bit lighter than The Dividing Sky. They're both dystopian romances. They both have a lot to say about capitalism and like society and kind of the structure of things. But An Ocean Apart, I don't know, it just kind of poured out of me. It took me like 45 days to write the first draft, which is like wild for
Mm,
me. Um, it just like flowed and it was just so fun and like it's like so silly. Like there's so many funny interactions between um Eden and the love interests, but also like the other girls who are competing in this competition. It's just like really fun. I think too, it was a challenge to do a convincing love triangle in a standalone. I was really nervous that like, because I all the triangles I can think of that I love are over the course of multiple books, and I was like, there's no way that I can create that kind of tension in
right.
350 pages.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I will say, like, reviews suggest otherwise. Like, people are very happy with this love triangle, very torn. Um, I'm like very proud of the work I did to make this love triangle, like, really, like, you're fighting for your life. Like, who am I going to pick? Who is Eden going to pick?
Right, right. For
It's
sure.
good. Yeah. I'm happy
Okay,
with the work. Yeah.
okay. I love that. What do you think was the most challenging part of like bringing the story to life then? Like, what was the part that just you were like, I don't know how to bring this to life?
Yeah, I think definitely the love triangle. And then I think, I really did want I wanted Eden's journey to be believable. So without spoilers, she does at times find herself like tempted by the luxurious lifestyle that she finds herself surrounded
Yeah,
by. And I wanted that to feel human, like
yeah, yeah.
not that she's like a sellout, but that, like who wouldn't, surrounded by all of this kind of start to get a
Right,
little bit
yeah, for
comfortable,
sure.
start to get used to it.
Yeah.
So walking that line, but also having Eden remember like where she came from was an important challenge for me to get right.
Yeah, I think that's like so important because when we are reading these kind of books, right? Character development to me is
Mm-hmm.
biggest
Mm-hmm.
piece, of course, of
Yeah,
reading the book and how characters
absolutely.
thing. So
Yeah.
being able to draw those emotions and those different things in the book really just tells like how you are as a author. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and nothing like pulls you out of a book more than like the character making a choice that you're like, that's not believable. Like that happened way
yeah,
too fast,
right.
right?
Right.
So like I always try to like really plot the steps and make sure that like it happens gradually. Any transformation happens gradually.
Yeah.
That's important. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, did any part of this story surprise you when you were writing? Like, wait, did that just happen? Like,
There were some moments where I was like, "Oh, we're going like no spoilers, but there's like a little bit of a detour in the book." You're like, "Whoa, like okay." That
yeah,
I kind of had that plan, but like the way it happened was very like, "Oh, okay, like here it is. Like this moment is happening now." And I think too, like I mean, I think you can tell reading it, like I wasn't totally sure on like how the love triangle was going to end for
yeah,
like a good chunk of the book. There are definitely some chapters in there where you could maybe feel me pulling more towards one love interest or the other because I really was like every scene I was like they are going to apply pressure and we're just gonna
yeah,
have to see how
yeah.
it plays out.
Right.
So
We just
yeah.
have to see who she picked. Right. That's how it is. You know.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. So, when you're writing something as emotional as this, how do you keep yourself grounded?
That's a really good question. I feel like I don't. I think like part of the beauty of any kind of art, but for me, like I write books, like is like the moment when you let yourself be the vessel, right? And you're just like channeling, similar experiences that you've had or what you imagine something might feel like, right? And let it kind of just flow through you. I mean, I think like it's really hard for me, like when I know that I have like a big moment coming up, like I make sure I'll sometimes wait until I have a good chunk of time to like get through it because there's nothing worse than like being halfway through a really emotional, tense scene and having to leave for, just life reasons. Um,
Right.
it's like an unresolved chord like in my brain until I can come back to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I try to just like I think the biggest thing I can do is just like know those moments are coming in the story and like give myself time to get them out um like fully and not interrupt and then like because then I'm kind of like in that headspace like the rest of the day. So
Yeah, yeah, that's gotta be difficult for sure. I'm
yeah.
emotional with movie. I'm emotional after I read the book. Like I be like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to process. Like I can't read
Yeah.
the book yet. Give me an hour.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So I can only
absolutely.
imagine writing it for sure.
Yeah.
So what's one line or moment from the book that like still hits you then? Like in the
Ooh.
feels every time you read it.
Oh man. There are so many, but they're all spoilers. There's so many. Uh Trying to think of one that's not a spoiler. They're all spoilers pretty much. I will say without giving too much away, there's a scene where Henry worries that Eden is going to ruin her makeup. And that's all I'll say. But that scene, that was one where I had to like block it out. And I was like, I know this is coming and it's going to be so sad.
Right. Yes,
But
yes.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So moving along to the fun part of this, of course, if Ocean Apart were a movie,
Oh
who would
man.
play your main characters?
Yeah, I mean, for Eden, like I've had like Lovey Simone in my head forever. I think she'd be amazing.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love her. For Henry, there is a character. This is like kind of like a deep cut, but like he's a little bit aged out of the role now. But a few years ago, there's an actor named Alden Ehrenreich who was he was like Han Solo in like the Han Solo Star Wars movie, like the
Okay.
standalone.
Okay.
And he was also in Beautiful Creatures, which is from a while ago, but he was like the main guy in that movie. So he'd be my Henry. And then for Theo, I mean, like I had Jordan Fisher in my head like since the beginning. I was just like Jordan Fisher is Theo. I love Jordan Fisher. Which is why it ended up being so wild that he ended up voicing Theo's epilogue in
Wow.
the
Yeah.
audiobook,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was just like this is too perfect.
Like this is
Um,
great. This is
yeah.
literally
Yeah. It's like the voice I
amazing.
had in my head as I was like writing
Yeah.
all of Thea's
Yeah.
dialogue is like now saying all Thea's dialogue. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Those are my three. Yeah. Oh, and I will say too, speaking of the audiobook, the voice narrator for Eden, Jade Wheeler, is fantastic. And she does most of the book. Most of the book is from Eden's perspective. And I listened to it. I love listening to my audiobooks. And when I got to the part where she's doing the voice of Corsica Jones, who is like kind of like an Effie Trinket, like reality show host character, she made Corsica sound exactly like Kiki Palmer, like to the point where I was like, Kiki is like in the room.
Right.
And so now that's all I can think of is
Oh
like
my goodness.
Corsica is Kiki Palmer, like no
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Yeah. That is amazing. It's amazing how like voice actors can really
They're
bring
incredible. Yeah.
they literally can make or break a
Yeah.
book. And
Seriously.
some voice actors literally make the book. Like they
Yep.
do it. You're like, okay, now this book has been taken up 12 notches because of this audio.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Seriously. Yeah.
that's awesome. So what drink, wine, coffee, or cocktail matches the
hmm
vibe of this book?
Ooh, I mean, definitely a cocktail. It's like a tropical, like
Yeah.
we're like in the Caribbean Sea, like we're floating around. So yeah,
Yeah.
some sort of like blue
Yeah, I was
daiquiri
thinking
sort of
that. There's
situation.
like
Yeah.
the drink I
Yeah.
think called Blue Effer. I could see that
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Maybe a few
Yep.
extra shots too, because you're gonna
Yeah.
need it for
Yes.
So which character would you trust to plan a vacation and which one would you actually trust to plan a
Oh
vacation?
my gosh, that's so funny. So to plan what? Well, okay. So Theo's mother, Mathilde, is like she's type A, she's a CEO, like she would plan things like to a T, but
Yeah.
also like that's not the kind of vacation I like, right? I don't want to be
Yeah.
like itinerary scheduled. I don't want to go for like a sunrise jog. I don't want to do any of that. So I think she actually would be my like least favorite. I don't like I would least choose her. Because I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Most I think I would choose let's see. Oh, there's a character named Remy, who's excellent, and he is from Haiti. And like I think just his like view on life, he's a very like chill, go with the flow guy. I think he would plan an excellent vacation. He also loves food. So I think we would have a great
Anybody
vacation.
who loves food is up my alley for a vacation for sure. For sure. And my
Hmm.
mom is more of the type B. I'm more type A. So I'm the
Uh-huh.
itinerary. Let's do this. And my
Uh-huh.
mom is like, I want to be a lazy,
Yeah,
like hotel bum till 5 p.m. So
exactly. Yeah, I
total
am like
differences on the
in
hotel.
my real life, I'm type A, but when I'm on vacation, like I don't want to do anything. Like I'm just
Yeah,
here for
that
like
is mine.
sunshine and the
Oh my
beach.
God, that's
Yeah.
my mom. Yep, that's my mom all day.
That's great.
If you had to describe this book only using emojis, what would they be?
Ooh. Okay.
I'll
I
throw a
would
little seashell
use,
in there somewhere.
yeah, like a boat, like a yacht emoji.
Yeah.
Um, the one of like the girl dancing in the red dress, but it would be like a black girl,
Yes, yes,
obviously.
yes.
And maybe like one of the like sneakier, like oh, maybe like the like secrets one, because there's lots of secrets in this
Oh,
book.
yeah.
So yeah. Hmm.
Good. Those are good. So you're stranded on an island, right? You're stranded on
Hmm.
an Which three books are you bringing with you?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. That is impossible with like zero preparation. I'm gonna pick, huh? Okay, book or like I'm like series? No, series is not a book. Um,
We're gonna do just a book.
just a book. Okay. I would probably pick, um, I would pick a book I haven't read yet for one, just to be like, I've never read this one before. I'm reading The
Right.
Second Death of Locke right now, and I haven't started it, so I'm just gonna be like something new. Great, done.
Yeah.
Um, Second book, I think I would pick maybe like Jane Eyre or something that's like like multiple levels so I can reread it a bunch and like actually like get something new out of it every time. And then my third one, I'm looking around my shelf. Um, Maybe Legendborn, I think.
Okay.
As like another one that is just like feel good, like gives you a little bit of everything, a little bit of romance, a little bit of adventure, a little bit of
Yeah, yeah.
all that stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I love that. So we're going into our author gems and advice section
Okay.
now. So
Uh-huh.
what's one thing you want readers to feel when they finish like Ocean Apart? Like how do you want them to feel?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, so even though my dystopian books are, painting a picture of the future that is a little bit like bleak or should like cause us to sit up and like take awareness, I really want the ending to feel hopeful. I want you to feel like there are things worth fighting for and that like there's a possibility for like a better world at the end of all of this. If we hold on to what's most important, which like usually is each other. So
Awesome. Okay.
yeah.
And then how do you handle moments of doubt or writer's block when creating such deep stories?
Man, I mean, just like shutting down for like 3 days. No, I'm just kidding. Stepping away is not the worst idea, honestly. I think perspective is important. I think realizing that like we're seeing the highlight reel of, people's accomplishments on social media, especially. Um, Something I do, it's kind of like a weird trick or like thing I do, but like I will pick like 5 different books that are like similar to mine in like in whatever way. And whenever I see like someone else got nominated for an award or someone else got a bestseller or some, whatever it is, I will just note that like the other 4 didn't, right? Like no one's getting everything all the time, I think is the way that I like to think about that, even though it feels that way because we're bombarded with all of these posts and notifications and like awards and lists and stuff. But like the reality is that like things are quiet for most people most of the time. And that
Yeah.
helps me kind of keep a more like accurate perspective.
Yeah, for sure. What advice would you give to another Black woman writing like a romance or emotional fiction right now?
Yeah, keep going. I think we need more of that. We need more of our stories. I think it's also just, you know, beyond the like, I guess, obvious sort of like Black readers seeing themselves in the book. I think it's also just great to have like more Black artists, more Black women who are like in tune with ourselves and the world and like creating that connection. And kind of holding up. I always say that like when I write books, I'm like shooting a beacon of light into the sky and saying like, does anyone else feel like this, right? Like, is anyone else like experiencing life in
Yeah,
this way?
yeah,
And I think that like the more beacons we can have, like the better.
better. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. So what's next for you? Like any upcoming projects we should keep an eye out on?
I've got a few things. So I write dystopian romance, and I also have kidlit, some middle grade stuff. So my second middle grade book is coming out in April from Disney Books, and it is. Do I have it here? Where is it? Oh, I have it here. Hang on one second. It's really cute. Okay, so
Yeah.
all right. So this is. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Rihanna Johnson's Giant
Aw.
Leap. Rihanna is, oh, come on. There we go. Rihanna is the best friend of Kaya Morgan, who was the first book. So Kaya Morgan's crowning achievement was about a Black girl competing to be the first Black queen of her local Renaissance Festival summer camp.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and Rihanna Johnson's Giant Leap is her bestie Rihanna at Space Camp. So
Oh,
that's coming out
oh.
in April. Just some middle grade
Exciting.
shenanigans. Really cute.
Yeah.
Um, and then in 2027, so all the way in the future, I have my first adult romance coming out, an adult sci-fi romance called Headspace.
Ooh,
I think that's thinking May 2027, so
I'm
kind of a ways out, but I'm really excited for that one.
keeping that on the calendar. I know it's
Yeah.
gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good.
Thank you.
We have a few questions from the audience of my
Oh,
page.
cool.
So
Yeah.
that's a good one. So the one question, which was from Keeping It Breezy, how do you juggle
Uh-huh.
being a podcast co-host and an author?
Yeah, it's tricky. I think for so me, Beatrice, and Chelsea were co-hosts of the Afronauts podcast, which is
Nice.
a Black speculative fiction writing podcast. And it's tricky. Like we've had to have some real conversations, just all of us, about like our load, especially as Beatrice has gotten ready for their debut coming up in like what, two weeks now? Yeah. Um, so, I think what I underestimated significantly was how much the promo side of being an author was going to creep up on me as now that I have books out in the world. And so we think a lot about balancing that like load with like what we want, like topics we want to cover. One cool thing though is that like so many of our topics have to do with author friends that we have, right? So we can easily bring in guests to talk about stuff. It's a great way to like build our community and introduce readers, or sorry, listeners to our community and vice versa. And I think it's all like one reinforces the other, like something new that
Yeah.
Beatrice learns in their craft can like be a topic that like Chelsea and I learn about. I had no idea about like I did a topic. I think actually it's coming out in a couple of weeks. A topic on like Black horror, and I was just like, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't know anything about this. Teach me from like the comfort of like my well-lit office. Like I don't,
Right, right, right.
but it's Beatrice's jam. Like it's their jam. So like I was very much like just educate me. And I love that we all write in like different, like slightly different genres, so we can all have like different like areas of expertise. So
Yeah,
that it keeps
yeah.
it fun. Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm a horror junkie myself, so that
Yeah. Okay.
yes.
I just like I don't know. It, it,
You're
it
like,
gets to
no,
me. I'm like,
I'm good.
I'll stay with my love stories over here. Yeah, exactly.
Right. We have one more question from Equus on
Uh-huh.
my page.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for your very first novel?
Ooh, The Dividing Sky. Yeah. So that do I have? Yeah, that one's here. This cover's pretty, so I'll show it off.
All the books on deck,
Um,
y'all. See?
so I know that. Well, you can't see my desk is just like a mess. So like I have everything here because everything in the universe is here, including my book. So The Dividing Sky. So before I was a writer, I was like a management consultant, and I worked at a startup, and I had these sort of really time-intensive, high demand jobs. And I was outsourcing parts of my life. So I was outsourcing pet care and laundry and grocery delivery and all this stuff, just like to make my life work. And I was like carving out more time, but I was always filling that time with more work. Like never like things that were fulfilling for me or like ways to relax. And
Right,
so when I began writing, I started thinking about like, okay, what would it look like if you had like a technology that advanced enough to the point where you could outsource anything? So in the Dividing Sky, there's these people called proxies, which are like lower class, and proxies will raise your kids for you. They'll deliver groceries. They will uh what else? Yeah, like run errands for you, but they'll also like go on dates for you. So like my
Mhm.
proxy and my husband's proxy could go on a date, have a great time. They come back and upload the memory of that date to me via neurochip, and I can just keep working the whole time.
Oh,
And it's like this like message of like, so Liv, the main character, her job is to read books and watch movies and look at sunsets and record those memories and then sell them to clients who are too busy working to live their own lives. And I just really wanted to have a world and have a setting where you really could just keep working forever. And at what point, if ever, is anyone going to stop and say, actually, like, I want to live my life for myself. I don't want
yeah.
to, get Grubhub all the time. I don't want to,
Right, right.
like, I want to, like, slow down and, like, actually cook a meal or, like, go for a walk just because, or do this random chore the hard way, the slow way, for the sake of it, right? This, like, worship that we have of, like, productivity and, like, being efficient, because of the need to, like, make money and, be productive. I really wanted to question that because I just burnt out so hard in my own personal life. So,
Yeah, yeah, I really love that because me being like a social worker professionally, it is
mm,
so important to carve out
yes,
that
yes,
time for yourself. And
yes,
that's why
totally.
I've really gotten back into reading because I've
I
always loved
love that
to
for you.
read. Thank
Yeah,
you. I've always loved to read, but recently,
yeah,
like these last few months have been crazy. I'm in grad school. There was so much going on. I was
yeah,
so stressed out. And I was like,
yeah,
I literally don't have like it feels like an outlet or something I
yeah,
enjoy to do. So I was like,
yeah,
let me pick my Kindle back up. So I've literally
yeah,
been reading since like February, just nonstop, and I love it.
yeah.
I've
That's
fallen in
great.
love with reading again. So I've been excited to, really being able to carve out and enjoy, some of those
Hmm.
books that you might DNF or you don't
Yeah,
really,
totally. Yeah,
you know,
exactly. It's like
you
maybe
get
like
those.
give it another shot. Give it 10 more
Yeah,
pages.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Let me give it another chance again. But it's
Yeah.
all about what you enjoy. So I
Yeah.
like that for sure. And
Awesome.
finally, last question. How can readers support you follow your journey, enjoying what you do on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm mostly on Instagram and Threads these days, at J2TEW writes. Where else am I? I'm on TikTok occasionally at Jill Tew. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have one fun thing. If you like dystopian romance, either you've read my books or you kind of want to see what they're about, I am writing another dystopian romance for free on Substack, one chapter at a time. So I'm up to like chapter 11 now. And I would say honestly, it's like similar quality, if not like I think it's like a really fun, like even like funnier idea to my traditionally published stuff. So Melee, Melee is up on Substack. You can find it in like the links in my link tree and stuff on Instagram. But that's really fun. That's like kind of like Mad Max meets the Hunger
Okay.
Games.
Okay.
And it's about this like desert death race in Death Valley, where the weapons are all like AI, magical AI weapons. And there are 20 racers. And there's two rivals in that race. Jade is looking for clues on what happened to her boyfriend, who died in last year or disappeared in last year's melee, I should say. Everyone thinks he's dead. She's not so sure. And she gets a message that in order to figure out what happened, she has to actually keep this other racer, Felix, alive instead of letting him die. But Felix is told that if he wants any chance of surviving to the end of the race, he actually has to kill Jade before the halfway point.
Oh,
And she doesn't know this. And
what?
yeah, right. You see it, right? And also,
Yeah, yeah.
Felix doesn't know how to use the weapons, but Jade does. And so he needs her
Mhm.
to train him on how to use weapons if he has any chance of killing her in time. And that's the story.
This
So
sounds. I'm gonna
yeah.
have to definitely gonna have to read that. That sounds really good.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
been really fun. Again, it's totally free. 11 chapters so far, and like yeah, the story just kind of is continuing. So that's a fun little sneak peek at what I do.
Awesome. Well, Jill, of course, it's been an honor to interview you. Anybody
Hey.
watching this, please go support. Please get an ocean apart. I was honored to read the first chapter, and
Yes.
yeah, it was bomb, y'all. So please, please, please go get the book. Jill, too, again, thank you so much for joining us
Yeah,
here.
thanks for having me. This was great.
Yes, and see you next time.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
too. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.